Welcome to my channel. Today, this is an experiment, so suggestions are always welcome, but I'll explain how I started with this. I wanted to try, I love pick a card. I always do people's pick a cards. Sometimes I find the pick a card, I know exactly the option. I find them as a free personal reading. Sometimes they are so right on. So this is offered, if it's helpful, helpful. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So what I decided to start with was pick 3 stones out of my mesa. And this is associated with a mountain. So this is really a mountain energy, or reaching the pinnacle of energy. So that was the first stone I picked for number 1. The second stone I picked for number 2 was this circular stone, and it represents for me a medicine wheel. It also represents how time, from a shaman worldly point of view, how time goes in a circular manner. Where I've seen some readers, when they want to do time, they take a finger and they go linear, January, February, March, April. This way of looking at the cosmology, you would start and go in a circle in terms of time. But it also, many of the cosmologies are medicine wheel cosmologies that are circular. So this is medicine wheel. And it's also the different cycles of the medicine wheel. And this represents Earth. This is my Earth marble. And the cards, I picked cards, just randomly picked cards, but they matched up perfectly. So for the mountain stone or pinnacle stone, I first drew the card Resurrection. And I just drew one on this. This is basically, I made it, I'm standing on the mountaintop, everything's good, the sun is out, I'm standing in a great place, this is all coming together. And on top of this card, then I picked a card. This is from the deck of characters, and this is from the Oracle deck. This is based on the Andean cosmology from the Kuros. So this is the the Chumpy Stone 7-point. This would represent, in terms of, if you put the Chumpy stones on the 7th point, would represent your crown chakra. So this is, and then with the stone, this is my 7-point Chumpy stone. So I brought that out. This represents you've reached the high point, you're on the mountaintop, you've touched heaven, you've reached the higher realms. Life is so incredible right now. So there'll be 1 Cowrie Shell reading. The first one will be for this. The second one represents the medicine wheel. So you go through different stages. So we never get, well, I don't live on the mountaintop. Anyway, I don't know anyone that lives on the mountaintop all the time. Sometimes we go through more difficult stages. So the first card I drew was jail cell. And then, as a clarifier on that, I drew Grim Reaper. I'm thinking, oh boy. Okay, this is when you're stuck. Things aren't going well, and the Grim Reaper is calling you to get rid of things, let go of things. This can cover any of the aspects of life. Let's just say you're in things aren't going that well stage. How do you work through when you're in the medicine wheel, you're being called to deal with things, you feel stuck, you're dealing with really difficult matters. Basically, how do you get through that? That's the second reading. And with this, I have we have the tapping stones, the Tupinaqui Rumi. My tapping stones are meteorites, and this is you use to tap together. This creates movement. It also can clear like energies to use it. Usually the smoother one is associated with the left hand. The more angular one is associated with the right hand. In terms of meteorites, left and right, the one with a little bit of reddish color is associated with the left hand. The one that has the gray or the white color in the meteorite is associated with the right hand. You can feel them, they're paired together. When they're paired, you can feel that they work together as a pair. So this is how to move forward and how to clear. In Andean cosmology, the cure word would be that they use in Quechua is hucha, which is a fun word, hucha, like hu-cha. So hucha is your heavy energies. So when you're feeling stuck, when things aren't moving, you need to clear heavy energies, and one way is by tapping the stones. Or you can essentially tap stones by starting to move forward, taking the next step, getting some movement. Take a list, 1, 2, 3, what will get me forward? Do 1, then 2, then 3. And then I'll do a cowrie shell reading based if you feel associated with this energy. So it's like the top of the world in the more difficult stage that we go through. So the third one, the first card that I drew was house under construction. So there's 4 quarters. The foundation is set. It started to be built. This is the elves card. Reminds me a little bit of Christmas. I think this is associated with people or assistance. So you have a project that's under construction. You're building something related. It could be any type of project that you're building to, basically, in the term of bringing it home in terms of this. And the card I drew in this is quite interesting. It's the brimmed hat. This is the hat, everyday hat. I go to work, and then it has the sacred. So it's the combination of living your life every day, and doing everyday things, but to do it in a sacred way. And I think that this is a reminder that the projects that we work on, even in a physical realm, physical sense, we can do that in a sacred way. So these are the 3, and I'll put them to the side and we'll do 3 readings. But it's interesting that the cards tied, or the random draw of the cards, tied really well into the theme of the stones. So we'll see how this goes with the and I've thinned down the numbers of what I'm using in the center so that you can see it will stress just the basic structure of it by thinning down all of the elements I use. Sometimes on reading I throw in everything but the kitchen sink, so to speak, but this will thin it down. It's a little easier to follow, probably. Okay, so reading number 1. We're reading for the mountain stone. I'm reading for number 1. Interesting that there's 3 stones right here, right in earth. So just briefly, this is earth, fire, water, nature, mineral. The fire stone that represents fire is partially in nature and partially in earth. The blue water stone that represents consciousness or healing or reconciliation, this is what's in your awareness. The deep water stone representing the deep water is not in your awareness or a deep level of the unconscious level. The mineral stone represents this portion right here. It's the stories, it's the mineral, it's the structure. And a mountain would be in the category of a mineral structure. The earth stone, which represents the center, is in mineral. And the nature stone that represents nature is between nature and fire. So when the fire stone is in earth and in nature, the ancestors are calling you to a time of transformation, and this also comes into a new vision of the home. This is your platform of power is transforming, that you're coming into an ally with nature and an ally and a nature energy that's inspiring to bring you passion and a new vision for the home. In this new vision, this is an opportunity not just to be up at the mountain in your it's also the opportunity to connect into your Wedeme, the undomesticated self, connect in deeply into this deep level of unconsciousness. The Wedeme is another term. It's often used in indigenous societies of your indigenous soul, your undomesticated self, your wild side. The aspects of ourself, it's reaching beyond who we are, because we're very much formed by our environment and our society. It's reaching beyond that to what we could be. You could also say this would be your idea of your higher self, and draw and bring your unconscious aspects home, not neglecting any part. So even though you're up on the mountaintop and you're thinking everything's great, this is the chance to open up further into bringing it home, but bringing it home by opening up deeper into our humanity, deeper into our wildness as humans, as part of the earth, coming into a story of the earth and a story of our gift and purpose. And really use this time to bring about this healing energy and activate, here's the genie ring, activate this creative ability, and really search for and look for, here's the 3 shells are down right here on fire. Touch into what inspires us. Touch into, we have the story of our heart. Touch into, so not just live up here, I'm on the mountain, I made it, everything's great. Really go into, this is represents the worry doll here, it's in water, and it has the candlelight. Really look where this takes us. Really, not just the view of the mountain, but a view of our internal self, a view of our water, our healing, our connectiveness to nature. Almost like you could explore all of the elements and connect again with earth, not just be off in the mountaintops. There is a wisdom and a sacred wisdom available and a knowledge into discovering and opening up our connection to Mother Earth, our connection to our own Wedeme, our connection with nature, and our connection with our vision and our life purpose. And the story of what our heart has to tell us and our deep part of our wisdom. And then in this way of earth, the story of earth, what it means to us. that it unlocks a deeper level of consciousness and a deeper level of ourselves. So it's in the way, yes, it's incredible to be high and everything's great, but it's really saying ground into earth, ground into your story, use it as a time to really go deep in your water, deep into nature, deep into what holds us, what our purpose is, and go from there. So I hope you, so don't just stay on the mountaintop, you have work to do. Move this up here. Stones. There's a tendency sometimes to kind of, oh, I don't like that card. That's not a good card. I'll try another card. And when I first drew jail cell, I kind of was a little bit, oh, I'm starting out with that card. But when I looked at it, this is actually quite positive. Not some people are affected by the holidays. Some people have life experiences, things going on. They have matters with their family. Not everybody is living on top of the mountaintop for that short period of time. So this is if you're feeling stuck, you're having to let go, things aren't going well, which we all go through those stages. What helps me in that place? So, reading number 2. When I do readings for people, sometimes when I do a reading, I feel the love around them. This opens up the realm of the ancestors, and I can feel the circle of the ancestors or their family who are on the other side and their love and support. So I would say the first thing I would say when you're going through a difficult time and you're on a difficult part of the medicine wheel, maybe just take a minute and feel the love of the people, your ancestors, your departed family. Just feel their love around you and feel that circle of love. That message can be very healing, and I think that's right here, the blue water. When you keep that vision in mind, like you could put a candle out to remember your ancestors. When you start to keep in mind that you're not alone and that you have those on the other side that will help you get through, and you remember that, start to take, when the tapping stones, it start to do something. One thing that you could do is light a candle, put out, if you have somebody that passed their favorite dish, put something out, start an altar, something to touch into, like a gesture or a healing gesture to touch into the ancestor world and those who support you on the other side. The firestone is here in earth, and this is a new vision for the home. When you start to say, I don't like where I am, I feel stuck, I want to let go of things, let's change it all up, and you start to tap in, opens up the possibility of change, which is the nature stone here on earth. So it's a new vision for the home, as well as the nature stone in earth of transformation of the home, that it's time to shift things, change things up, unlock new opportunities or new stories of how you see earth. earth can mean yourself, your community, your people, the organization, your job. And this is the chance then to really ground into earth and feel this place in earth. It's also a time, here's the Orc Stone, and the Deep Water Stone is here in Mineral Moving into Earth, is to shift worldview, to tap into the stories that we're telling ourselves. Some of what needs to be let go is when you're telling old stories and they're very charged, especially in the, they did this to me, they did that to me, I'm this, I'm that. Whatever stories we tell about ourselves, we tell about stories of things that happen to us. And this deep water then story starts to tell us those are the things that we need to clear out, we need to tap out, we need to release and let go. The Grim Reaper looks a little scary there, but if he's coming in to take out all the stories you want to let go of, let him work it. And when we start to let go of these old stories, we can start to, really hold a different place for ourselves, really tell ourselves a different story and start to unlock. And in this opens up a good deal of transformation. We have the sacred wisdom stone here. We have a light here. And this is the genie ring with the shell in it down. We have the possibility of creativity. We have the possibility of taking the shell and the ring and turning it over, climbing the mountain of our greatness, exploring a new relationship with spirit, starting to open up or ask for help of others possibly. But we can access this when we're in the time of needing transformational energy. We can access a wisdom and connection that will help us bring it about. The other thing of being in this time would be to go into nature, connect with nature. Sometimes people write things on a piece of paper and burn it. You can blow it into a stone. You can tap all of this heavy energy, heavy stories, things we tell ourselves at a deep level. If we bring it into awareness and we let it go, we can realign our energy and take what we've had, the experiences we've had, and understand the transformational wisdom of the medicine wheel. Because when you're thinking of a wheel, you're in this time, you always move forward, and feeling that forward energy and actively tap, 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 doing step by step to move forward on the wheel. Okay, we're at the third draw here. This is related to the little earth marble. So Firestone and fire. This is always good. Firestone and fire means it's okay, you're good. And you're aligned with the will of the ancestors. You have the platform of power, meaning you have your platform, your four corners, and you're bringing it into earth, bringing it home. I believe here the worry doll is on the blue water, and I think that's being able to have agreement and bringing about agreement and reconciliation in terms of pulling people together to bring what you're doing home, actively taking the vision and bringing it home. it's funny because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of this energy very close together. So nature stone in nature, you know who you are, you know your gifts, you understand how to tap in to carry out your vision and bring your vision home and connect into the practical aspects of bringing this vision home. And with mineral stone in mineral, it's your story of your project. This is the wisdom here. So when you're having this aspect of a project, one thing to realize when you're working with other people is that this is a cosmology based on a tribal cosmology. So when they look at people in terms of their contribution to the tribe and contribution to a project, that the fire represents people, and usually they're associated by the last number of the birth year. So fire is associated with 2 and the number 2 and 7 birth year. So you need people who are the inspiration. They keep things going. They keep that passion, desire to bring the project home. And then when you have, but you need more water, and water is associated with 2 and 6, the birth years ending in 2 and 6, because you need that. This is healing and reconciliation. Basically, you need everybody to get along. When you have a bunch of people, you're trying to bring a project home or whatever you're working on, you have to hold everybody together and bring the vision home. And then the earth associated with the earth element, that's the year 0 and 5. And earth people are the ones that always have everything you need. Or they have a purse that's like the magic purse. Oh, you need a Kleenex? I have a Kleenex. You need hands? Or your neighbor, if you have a neighbor that's an earth, they will, whatever you need to borrow, they have it and they're happy to provide it. And the deep water is, again, that water, that peacemaker. They bring about peace. And the nature is this, sometimes, you're on a project, everybody's working together, it's all very even. And then you have the troublemakers. Well, we don't think that will work. Why don't you do it this other way? And, well, we have this great inspiration or new idea, or just add that element of chaos. But truth, they're very much the truth tellers. And that's the years 3 and 8, ending in 3 and 8. So in order to carry about your project, you basically have to you want this balance. You need more peacemakers than the fire makers, and you need the ones that keep it practical and true and say things, come up there, the first ones to say, this isn't working, let's change this. Maybe they have a little magic elements, like we don't need to work so hard to carry this out. We can do it this way, and this is faster and easier. And then when you have mineral, this is your story, this is your organization, this is providing structure. So when you have the mineral stone in earth, you're able to provide the structure and bring it essentially into home. So in this process, and then we have the Wedeme here, there is within all of us this undomesticated self, this possibility of more. We all have our little bit of quirks. So in working with people and working with quirks, you have to listen and be mindful of both the gifts that they offer and also the quirkiness that they have, and how you hold everybody together, and that you have the sacred wisdom, and you can, so that people can, here's the ashe with the shell on it, I would say, so that people can hear it. So important in this, in terms of bringing this cohesiveness of a group, bringing your vision into reality, is being able to communicate wisdom in a way that people can hear it and back your story and keep the flowing in terms of the energies flowing between people, and telling a story of working together and keeping to work together, as well as how I think it's a recognition of how we can stand out as a team, and then recognize that part of this blue water, this cohesiveness, is that we agree to certain values, that we have sacred values, we have these certain ways that we'll work together in terms of respecting each other. I hope you enjoyed this, and that's my experiment in doing 3 readings. It was quite interesting, and have a good day.